Hi guys, welcome back to We Should Talk, a pop culture interview series from In the Know. I'm your host, Gibson Johns, and this week on the podcast we have Larsa Pippen from The Real Housewives of Miami, which is back after 8 years on Peacock for its 4th season. I'm really loving Larsa on this season of Real Housewives of Miami. She was on the first season, and then she wasn't on seasons 2 and 3. She's back for the 4th, and I really love her disposition and what she's showing us so far on the show. You know, I think regardless of any of the preconceived notions that any of us had about her, whether that was from her association with the Kardashians for so long or other random headlines she's made over the years with social media activity, I think she's really showing a different side of her on the show, and I'm really loving it. I love her outlook on life, and she's really unapologetic about who she is, and I really appreciate that. So we talked a lot about sort of the experience of being on the show like 11 years ago, 10 years ago, and now, and how that's different. We talked about her OnlyFans account and sort of people's reactions to that and paying that no mind. I think we spent probably the most amount of time talking about her and Adriana and why that dynamic is so tense and has so much friction. I did obviously try to ask about the Kardashians, about Kim, and what she's sort of taken from that friendship over the years, but it was clear that she did not really want to engage in that. She was skirting around the questions, and I understand why. That's totally her prerogative. No judgment there, but I had to ask, so you can't blame a guy for trying. But she clearly didn't want to go there, and I think her focus is forward in the future, and I get that. I think she's really kind of cultivating this new life for herself of moving back to Miami and spending a lot of time there, getting a new home, finalizing her divorce, kind of growing her personal brand. So I understand that, her not wanting to be kind of fixated on that. But regardless, it's a fun interview, and we talked about a bunch of this season and what have you. So I think you'll enjoy it. So keep listening for my interview with Larsa Pippen from The Real Housewives of Miami. Tune in to the 4th season of The Real Housewives of Miami on Peacock. New episodes every Thursday. And please rate, review, and subscribe to We Should Talk on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. All right, so we're here with Larsa Pippen from The Real Housewives of Miami, which is back now on Peacock. Larsa, how are you today?
Hi, I'm doing great. Nice seeing you.
Nice to see you. So again, we're kind of deep into this run already. I mean, it's kind of wild that we're just back with Miami. How are you feeling? Because for you, it's been over a decade since you were back in this world.
I feel great. I feel like the cast is amazing. It's diverse. I feel like Miami is lit. You know, there's so much going on in Miami, fashion, culture, like art, just so many cool aspects to Miami. I feel like it's grown so much in the last few years. So it's just super fun to be there and film.
Yeah, I think everyone is on the same page about how exciting it is to be back, and it makes sense for Miami to have an active Housewives franchise. And for you, you know, since it has been so long, I'm curious how your experience has been different from the first go around, just in terms of like the nature of Housewives fame, because a lot has changed in social media, in sort of the Bravo Peacock world. How are you experiencing it differently this time?
You know, I feel like I'm in a different place in my life right now, and I feel like I'm super open. I asked my kids if they wanted to do the show and be a part of it, and they were super excited. So it just made sense for us, you know, and we're super excited to be on the show, you know, so it just made sense for us at this point.
Mm-hmm. Have you noticed that but in terms of like the social media of it all? Because I feel like there's so many Bravo fan accounts and Housewives fan accounts, and people just tracking everyone's every move and circulating all the content. What's that like, experiencing it as a cast member now? Because that didn't really exist back in season 1.
You know, I don't keep track of all the fan accounts. You know what I mean? I'm just hoping they're on the ride with me, and, you know, it might be a bumpy ride, but, you know, I feel like it's going to be a good season.
Yeah, for sure. So how do you think that you have changed as a person in the last decade since we last checked in with you in this format? Because it feels like you have grown a lot, but I'm just curious, in your words, how you feel like you've changed.
I feel like I'm just more open, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like I'm open to new experiences. I'm open to like the universe, you know, and what it brings me. And so that's where 2022 is for me. I just, you know, I'm just in a different place in my life, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited about all the changes. You know, change is so good. And so that's what I'm excited about.
Mm-hmm. So I've had Adriana and Lisa on already this season, and I talked to
Lucky
them both.
you. Lucky you.
Well, I talked to them both about how this season kicked off, which I thought people listening have heard me say this, but I just loved how it kicked off with that lunch with all the returning people. And I thought it was really fun to have that moment for how all of you to like look back and reminisce, but also share what has happened in your lives since. It was just a perfect way to start it, I feel like. What was going through your mind during the filming of that? Because it must have been kind of surreal.
You know what's funny? You know when you have really good friends and then like you haven't seen them for a long time and then you see them, you feel like you haven't missed a beat. It was almost like when we started talking, it was like we caught up so fast that I just felt like we really hadn't missed a beat, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it was great. It was great to catch up, see the ladies, see where they are today. We've all like grown and changed,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just fun to see, the progression.
Mm-hmm. And Lisa said that you guys have kind of really built this awesome friendship, I guess, kind of like in the years leading up, but also really through this experience. Is she who you're probably closest to in this current cast?
Yeah, I feel like I'm really close to Lisa. We have, a lot of mutual friends. We kind of go to the same places. So, we're always meeting in the same places every time we go out.
Uh-huh.
And, we both like to have fun. So it just makes it easy.
Yeah, for sure. So you made a splash right off the bat with the discussion around your OnlyFans account, and I think a lot of the women like. I think it was really interesting to see all their reactions to all that. But I love how you are so just matter of fact and unapologetic about the whole thing, because I think it's going to help kind of push against whatever stigma there is around that kind of around what OnlyFans is and what people use it for,
Mhm.
which I think is really awesome. What do you make about how the different women reacted to that, and is sort of that mindset around this amazing business you have sort of, is that like an intentional pushback, or is that just how you are in terms of just being unapologetic and matter of fact about it?
I mean, I feel like I don't really like do things to make other people like, you know, approve or disapprove of my
Sure.
decisions. I feel
Yeah.
like I'm too grown for that. I do things that make me feel good. I'm comfortable in my own skin. If I'm comfortable, posting photos in the comfort of my home, it's no one's business.
Of
I just
course.
feel like, and I feel like a lot of times people judge you that are ignorant. They don't know enough about, X, Y, and Z. So I feel like it's really easy to like be judgmental when you don't know enough about what you're talking about.
Of
And
course.
and I feel like I've tried my best to, teach these women and basically tell everyone like what I do and what I use the platform, for. So yeah, I feel like I'm basically like the OnlyFans guru.
No, but I love it. I think a lot of people probably are learning from some of these scenes. Like even the one with Adriana and Kiki, it was like
Yeah.
people. I mean, I think you guys were having a lot of fun with it. And I think that's kind of it's clear that you do have fun with it, even though it also rakes in serious cash. So I think that like I don't know. I think you're doing good work in that way, because I think people just have probably heard one thing about OnlyFans and they run with it. You know what I mean?
I just feel like if you're comfortable taking photos, I love taking photos. I take photos anyway, so why not be able to have your real fans, people that really want to see your content, have exclusive, exclusive footage. So for
Totally.
me, it works. Yeah.
Definitely. And what I also loved about that scene is like I do love the relationship and the dynamic that you and Adriana have in these early episodes, because
You're the only one. No, I'm just kidding.
no, but it's kind of fun, light shade. It's play. You're kind of playful in this sort of banter with one another, and
Mhm.
I'm really enjoying it. It seems, I mean, judging by the trailer, it seems like it gets a little bit more contentious down the road. And obviously, you guys had that whole first season together, but what do you think it is about you guys together that kind of creates for this kind of friction or kind of fireworks on screen?
I mean, I don't really like, I don't know. I just feel like it's her with me. I don't give it back to her until like I've just had enough of it. I just keep
Hmm.
taking and taking from her negativity and all the stuff that she says about me. And I've said nothing bad about her. So I feel like I've just basically been the recipient of, her animosity, and I've done nothing to do, you know what I mean? I don't deserve it. So, and I feel like as the season goes on, you'll learn more and you'll see more. I just feel like she's had a history of, bashing women that have it going on. And maybe that's the key. If you have it going on, she has an issue with you. I don't know. I just know I'm staying in my lane. I'm doing what makes me happy. I am working on myself. And that's kind of where I am today.
You've definitely got it going on, Larsa. But is there going to be a moment that we're going to see where it does become too much for you to deal with the constant sort of comments from her and stuff like that?
Yeah, I feel like there's only so much a person can take.
Right.
I've literally like, and I'm really big on boundaries. If I say something as far as it doesn't make me feel good when you talk about X, Y, and Z, and you constantly keep bringing up these issues, that's like a problem for me, and it's not like you know, I don't voice my, my disappointment in the things you say.
Right.
I keep saying it over and over again. But like I said, I'm big on boundaries, and I try to set those, in the very beginning of any of my relationships. You're basically like, hey, this is off limits. This is off limits. But if you constantly want to annoy me and you constantly are bringing up these subjects that I don't really want to partake in these conversations, then yeah, we're probably going to have a problem.
Yeah, for sure. And do you think I feel like from what I'm sensing, it seems like an element of it is sort of like Adriana was there for those first three seasons, but you were just there for the first season. It seems like there's almost sort of like a territorial aspect to it because you're coming back into the fray. Did you pick up on that at all, or do you not think that's part of it?
No, because I feel like in the past she's had issues with all the women. Like every
Mm,
season she's had issues with all the girls. So I don't know. I feel like sometimes when you're not happy with yourself, you tend to pick on other people.
mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Maybe this season when she watches the show, she's older this year. Hopefully she can like reflect, and like learn from it, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And in the trailer, the comment that sort of made the rounds was about your body looking like Kim Kardashian, who's obviously a good friend of yours. And I understand the irony in me asking this, but obviously your association with Kim gets brought up a lot. And I'm just curious where you are mentally with that, like in terms of, you're sort of creating this whole life for yourself where you're back in Miami a lot and you're back on Housewives and you're building your personal brand with OnlyFans and beyond. So I'm curious, like where you are mentally with kind of it being a thing that everyone's sort of fixated on and kind of brings up with you all the time. I'm just where are you mentally with that?
I just feel like people want to like, I had a life before. I
Mm-hmm.
had a life before. I have a life after. So I just feel like, I'm like, like I said, I'm working on myself, my brands. I don't want to like be stuck in a place that I was a year ago. I don't want to be stuck in a place where I was yesterday. I feel like, we're supposed to evolve and like grow and learn from our mistakes. I've definitely learned from my mistakes. And so that's, 2022 is going to be my year.
Yeah, for sure. And last thing about this is like, again, you are sort of leaning into this building of your personal brand. You're doing such a good job about it. And obviously, you were in close proximity with sort of the masters of that, of building personal brands and just sort of they almost like invented that. What I'm just curious what you learned from being so close to that and watching other people build their personal brands and things like that. What did you take from those years? Because you must have picked up some really awesome sort of, I don't know, tips or just kind of approaches to that.
I just feel like I'm in my lane. I'm dealt the cards that, are in front of me. I feel like I'm in a great place. My kids are older now. So I just want to like focus on my brand, my family, the show that I'm super excited about. And, that's what I'm excited about
Yeah,
today.
cool. Well, I think that one thing that I've seen a lot I know that you don't really pay attention to the comments on social media, but I've seen a lot of people say that they are they weren't really sure what to expect from your return to the show, and they've been
Mhm.
any sort of preconceived notions that they've had about you from wherever they got them have been sort of dispelled. And I think people are really enjoying, from what I've observed, people are really enjoying watching you, and I'm part of that camp as well. And I'm curious, like, so do you really not pay attention at all to what people say to you on about your time on the show, or you must pick up on some sort of like essence of that?
You know what? I really don't, because I feel like it's like, not, you can do one thing on reality TV and everyone hates you, and you can do
Sure.
five good things and they don't appreciate you. So I feel like as long as I'm doing my part and I'm happy with what I see and what I portray and my family's happy, then we're winning.
Mm-hmm, for sure. And then, there's some other new additions to the cast this year. We have Kiki, we have Nicole, we have Gertie. Who of those new people did you feel like you kind of hit it off with the most this season?
I feel like all the women, I feel like it's great that it's so diverse this year.
Mm-hmm.
They're all different. I feel like we all have our own lanes. So So I feel like they're all amazing. They're all amazing women, and they're all entrepreneurs. They're all, moms. So it's like great to see, all their hard work and juggling family and career. It's just, I have so much respect for all of them.
Mm-hmm. And I think, I forgot to mention Julia, but I feel like I'm still kind of, whenever I see Martina Navratilova walking around on screen, I'm like,
Oh my gosh.
it's wild, right? What was your
Yeah.
reaction to meeting her in this context? It almost seems like it doesn't fit, but it does.
Well, it's funny. She makes you feel so comfortable that, like, when we were at Julia's birthday, I said, "Hey, I've been playing tennis. Maybe you and I could play tennis sometime." Like, she had me feeling so comfortable. I was like, "Holy, I forgot. She's like a world champion." Like, but she makes you feel so comfortable, and so she's so nice that, like, I'm like, "Oh, she could really teach me how to play really well."
Larsa,
So she's like super friendly.
I would kill for a scene of Martina teaching you some tennis pointers and some.
I mean, I've got a pretty good swing, so.
Hey, I think if we get a season 5 and you come back, I would love to see that.
I'll have to work on that. I might have to, like, give a little foot massage to her or something.
Larsa.
I'm just saying, maybe it's her turn.
Yeah. You know what? So what else can we expect from you personally on this season? Obviously, we're relatively at the beginning, but we're also, I feel like we're really deep into it. So what else can you tell me about what's sort of to come in this last sort of 2/3 of the season?
Just my personal growth, me working on Larsa Marie, my jewelry line, me spending time with my kids, and making time for my friends. Cause I feel like it's hard to, like, do it all, There's an art to being able to do it all, to hang out with your friends, to look gorgeous, to be a mom, to be an entrepreneur. So I feel like there definitely is, like, a nice recipe for that. And I'm finally, like, figuring it out.
I love it. And speaking of, I loved that scene of you and your daughter going shopping together. One, like, a very enviable shopping experience where they closed down the store for you and just kind of put stuff on the rack where it's just, like, directly for you. But that was such a fun scene because I feel like, again, it shows another side to you that I really love to see.
By the way, the outfits that she bought, she never wore. So I feel like I am going to go in her closet and take all those outfits.
Come on.
I swear, she never wore them.
Next time you're on Watch Happens Live or something.
Watching it, I was like, oh my God, I forgot we bought all those really cute clothes, Sophia. You never wore them.
Is that what that store does? That it kind of just picks out clothes directly for whoever's coming in that day?
Well, think about it. Who's got time to go to, like, 10 different stores?
Sure.
If I say, hey, I need to shop for Sophia, there's a personal shopper, and she literally goes to all the stores that I would normally go to and basically have a whole showroom set up for us. So I just walk in, I'm like, oh, and they're all the right sizes. I don't have to, like, order it.
Sure.
It's already there.
It's the dream. So obviously there's still a lot to come in terms of the show airing and sort of the reaction to it. And I know the reunion's coming up. Andy just tweeted out that you guys are filming that soon. What's something that you would want to bring up at the reunion that's unanswered for you right now?
I feel like just, we all need to be held accountable for the things that we say. And, I feel like a lot of people come for me. I don't know why. It's just like, I don't even know why, but I feel like, just being able to hold yourself accountable for the things that you've said, learn from your mistakes, grow from your mistakes, and keep it moving. That's what we're supposed to be doing.
Is there somebody else besides Adriana that you feel has been coming for you?
I mean, one of her friends.
Marisol? Okay.
No, Marisol would never. No.
Okay. Interesting. All right.
Yeah.
And then lastly, again, there's still more to come, but you did the filming of it and you know what this group is. Would you come, and you're back after 10 or 11 years, would you come back for a 5th season? Because I think fans are really plugged into Miami right now, and I think we all want more. So is that something you would be open to coming back for another season?
I think so. I mean, I had a really great experience. It was super fun. My kids had a great experience. So I think so.
Good. Well, I would love to see you back. I think there's so much more to unpack and see in your life. So especially as you're sort of, you're kind of creating this new life for yourself in Miami with the new house and all that. So I think it's something that we'd love to see more of. Well, Larsa Pippen, thank you so much for taking the time to talk today. It was really great to talk to you. And I can't wait for everyone to see the rest of the season of Real Houses of Miami, because
Me too. I have no idea what's gonna happen. So it should be fun.
If the trailer's any indication, Larsa, it's a treat.
Oh, so it's a lot. There's a lot going on for sure.
For sure. All right. Thanks so much, Larsa. We'll talk soon.
Thank you.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for tuning in to We Should Talk. I hope you enjoyed the interview. You can find out more about In the Know at intheknow.com. You can follow me, Gibson Johns, at Gibsonoma on Twitter and Instagram. And you can listen to all of our interviews, past and future, by searching We Should Talk wherever you get your podcasts. Hope to see you next time.